So welcome everybody. We're going to go ahead and record this, and thank you guys for joining us tonight. A little bit different than normal. These calls over the next few weeks, they're going to be pretty special because at the end of this training call, we're going to have 15 minutes where we're just doing the do, and you guys are free to ask questions in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask questions. But depending on the week, what we're doing, you can sit here and for 15 minutes and just work, just really focused work, and have all of us at your fingertips to ask questions and get help as you're working. So that's what's kind of special about these, and I'm excited. So welcome everybody. So we're going to go straight into it because we don't want to beat around the bush and how busy everybody is. One of the first things that you should be doing if you are joining us right now in Isagenix and you're really wanting to hit the ground running, you want to be successful, maybe you're just kind of going, how, you know? I don't know why, but I have this image of who has seen one of the classic Disney movies, Sleeping Beauty. Anybody? Maybe, yes, I got some hands. Okay, it's one of my favorites, right? I'm a huge Disney buff. And one of my favorite scenes in that is when the three godmothers or fairies decide to put away their wands and like do everything like a normal person would do without any magic, right? And maybe some of you are looking at Isagenix leaders as kind of like the fairies with the wands, just going around doing everything perfectly. Like, poof, I just became executive. Poof, I just hit platinum. You know, it's so easy. And you're kind of like blundering around, trying to make a cake, really screwing it up, ruining the dresses you're trying to create, not knowing how to clean your house. Like those fairies. Are we laughing here? Because it's true, right? It happens. But one part in particular comes to mind, and I think it's because of Michael Klaus's training, and you might not know who that is, but he's one of the top income earners in Isagenix, and he talked a few years ago about the egg in a cake recipe and how so many people just take it for granted that when you say add one egg, everybody knows what you're talking about, right? But there's a chance there's people that really don't know what you're talking about. What do they mean add one egg? Do you just like throw the whole egg in there? Do you have to like whip it up and then add it? Like, how do you do this? And so what I want to go over tonight is just some of the basics and break it down so that you know like how to crack that egg and how to add it to your batter, okay? So that there's no assumptions, we're all on the same page here. We good? Okay, awesome. So it doesn't matter if you have zero experience in network marketing or if you are a seasoned veteran, because things are constantly changing. The world is constantly changing, and so we're always learning ways to adapt, to do things better, and you have to be really flexible in this business. So the truth is, in a lot of ways, if you're new and don't have a lot of experience, that's a really great thing because you get to earn as you learn in Isagenix. You get to earn as you're on this learning path, and it's okay if you mess up and stuff. At least you're just a clean slate ready to grow. And so if you are a veteran, I just want you to open your heart and mind to the possibilities of doing things new in a new way because things have changed so much. On the flip side, we're so excited to learn from you if you have a lot of experience. And so you got to raise your hand and make sure we get you on one of these training calls so you can teach us what you know. All right. So first and foremost, lists. Now, if you're brand new, I'm going to erase that. It doesn't matter if you're brand new or old. The first thing you have to do is create a list. And there's a lot of reasons for making a list, okay? You're gonna hear this a lot, and there's a lot of memory joggers out there. If you go to isagenixbusiness.com, one of the first steps under the Start tab is creating a list. And there's even a memory jogger listed there that you can click on and use to kind of help you figure out who your list is, right? Now, the list is the target, all right? Just like in everything else you do, if you don't have a target or an exact idea of where you're going, you're probably going to stumble, okay? So by creating a list and writing down names, now you have some targets and it's going to make you more intentional, okay? The next great thing about doing a list is, and this is just brain work here, guys, but when you start writing a list down, all of a sudden, all these new names start coming to mind. People that you might not have ever thought about will come to mind because you're making this list, all right? And it happens to me every time. I start making a list of people. I was doing it a few days ago, just adding people to my list, and all these new names came up that I hadn't previously thought of, okay? So it's called a memory jogger, and that's why lists are so important. So start making your list. In Isagenix, we like to train that, our goal is to have 100 names, all right? You might only have 10 names on your list right now. That's okay. 10 is a great number to start with. And my challenge for you would be to start adding people to that list of 10. Go through, you guys, I would love for you to go into the chat box and share some ideas, but there's so many ways to find new names, all right? Obviously, you can start with friends and family, all right? You can go through your phone book, like your phone book. I just aged myself. Your cell phone. You can go through your cell phone. You can start thinking about who do you interact with on a daily basis, weekly basis, and monthly basis. Maybe it's church or sports, book clubs, sewing clubs, different gyms that you go to, classes you're taking, work. I mean, there is an endless array of groups and opportunities to meet people, okay? So you even have, if you're on Facebook, you have high school alumni groups. There's so many opportunities for you to not only meet new people, but also get in contact with old people, okay? So first challenge for this 90-day game plan is to have a rolling list. And I say rolling because you're constantly adding to it, all right? My list from 6 years ago is not the same as today, all right? It's just not the same, all right? If you've been in Isagenix for a while, a part of your list might be past customers, all right? We know from experience that nobody stops using Isagenix because they don't want to anymore. They just let life kind of get in the way, and they start eating the things they didn't want to eat before, and just slowly and surely they fall out of using the products. That happens a lot, right? That's normal. Or maybe finances were tight and they didn't understand about our incredible Eat for Free club, right? There's so many reasons why somebody might have stopped using Isagenix. So you're going to go back and you're going to use this old customer list to reactivate people. I'm telling you guys right now, I reactivate people all the time. Okay, this is not an old thing. This is not a new thing. This is an old thing. We've been doing this for a long time, and people are constantly going, you know what? It worked for me before. I'm ready to give it a shot again. All right. The great thing about that conversation is you get to say, why did you leave? Why did you stop? And that will create or open up a beautiful opportunity for a really good conversation. Perhaps a conversation that you should have had when they first started, but you didn't. All right. And that's okay. All right. So lists. All right. Now, how do we work with those lists? There's so many ways to do this, and everybody has their ways. That's a great thing because not one way works for everybody. All right. I know there's a lot of people in this company that do everything digitally. And the truth is that I'm getting more digital every day, but I'm still very old school. I have my planner that I use all the time, and I have my list in that planner, and I'm taking notes next to people. I'm putting stars next to someone that I need to like follow up with. Like, I'm very, very old school. I add notes as far as where I'm at. Am I just building a relationship with this person? Are we just going on, dinner dates or lunch dates? Are we talking about Isagenix? Have I sent them invitations to events? I keep track of all those things so that when I go back to follow people, I know exactly where we're at. All right. If there's things going on in their lives, I take notes. I want to know if they're getting a new job. I want to know if their family is going through a hard time, maybe a sickness or a death or some sort of trial. Like, I take notes, guys. And the reason why I do that is because I sincerely care about people. All right. I care about them, but I'm working with a lot of people and I forget things all the time. So by keeping notes with your list, you're now developing a relationship and you know where that relationship stands. Okay. So it's easy to fall back on. All right. I just went to lunch with Tara recently and I saw her notebook. She's old school like me. She's got her notebook and she's got her Post-it notes in there and she's keeping tabs on everything she's doing. Right, Tara? There we go. Thumbs up. Okay. It works. So what works for you? And that's okay. We're going to talk just for a few minutes about time blocking, and then we're going to jump into something that I really, really love and get excited about. And I'm bringing up time blocking right now, guys, because it really fits into what we're doing with this making lists. Okay. How many of you are busy? I'm assuming everybody on this call is busy, which is why I appreciate so much you guys taking your time to join us, because I know that we're all busy, guys. One of the things that we love so much about this business is that it's for busy people. All right. there's not a lot of things, like, for example, I'm going to use my example because it's my story, but there's not a lot of jobs out there where a mom of 4 children can make as much money as I am staying at home with her kids, right? Where I don't have to pay for nannies and drop them off. And if you do that, that's fine. But for me, like, I never wanted that, right? I don't mind dropping them off once in a while. And sometimes I'm like kicking him out the door, right? But I didn't want to be the mom that has to drop her kids off every single day so that I can earn an income. It wasn't worth the time sacrifice for me. But this business, I get to work from home, from my cell phone, from my computer, right? And I shouldn't say work from home. I get to work from wherever I want to be with my children, okay? So that doesn't mean we're not busy. We're not extremely busy, okay? And so time blocking becomes something that is not just necessary. It's not just something that's good to help you grow your business, but in a lot of cases, it's necessary. You know, in a lot of cases, like, we couldn't do this without being organized, all right? Now, I know there's some yellows on this call, all right? The people that go with the flow, say yes to everything, are always up for a good time. I know Elizabeth has to have a lot of yellow in her, right? So she's laughing in the background, cooking. All right. I know that there's a lot of people here that just love the kind of the beautiful chaos of life, and it's okay with them. All right. We also have people that are very, very organized. So when I say time block, they're like so excited, and they're probably time blocking every second of every day, right? Way ahead of me. But for us yellows in the room that love to just have fun, time blocking really becomes essential. You know, before I started time blocking, I always had this feeling of guilt. Like, if I was playing, I was feeling guilty because I was playing and I wasn't working, right? If I was with my kids, I felt stressed because I was trying to do 2 things at once. I was working and playing with my kids. Like, it was really just weighing on me, this feeling of guilt, of not being very good at everything, you know, like trying to do everything but kind of failing at it all. And then I went to an amazing training by Susan Sly, who I think is probably the queen of organization. And she talked about showing up 100% in life. And I remember like feeling like I was going to tune her out. Like, girl, this woman has it all together. She's doing everything. I can't be like her. I'm just going to not listen to this part. But what she taught me during that training was really pivotal, and I have applied it ever since. And it's amazing what happens when you do. All right. She said, be 100% mom when you're with your kids. Be 100% businesswoman when you're in your business hours, when you're working. You know, when you're with your friends, be there 100%. When you're at church, be at church. You know, she said, just be 100%. Show up big in life, in every area of your life. Not all at the same time, right? Not all at the same time, but when you're there, be there. And so what I took from that, and I'll share with you what it's done for me, is as I've started to time block, I have found that there's so much freedom. Like, I thought it would be restraining for my energy. Like, I like to just kind of be all over the place, right? I joke around at being Pocahontas. But what I realized is that when I organize my life and time block, I'm truly free to be in the moment, because I know that the other stuff is already being dealt with. Like, there's a time for that other stuff, and I have it organized. Does that make sense? Are you guys with me here? Okay. The other thing that Susan, I'm going to refer to her a little bit here, is that she taught me is that 90 minutes of like that power, not the power hour, but 90-minute time blocks. And I want you to look at your calendar over the next few days, or maybe tonight and tomorrow. Look at your calendar and really determine, you know, do I have 90-minute times to work? Or maybe I just have 60 minutes. Whatever it is, I want you to really just kind of organize your business calendar with these either, you know, 30-minute, 60-minute, or 90-minute time blocks where you are 100% settled in your chair or with your phone or with your computer, whatever it is, and you can get to work. All right. Because one thing I promise you is that a very committed, driven, passionate person can achieve so much in 90 minutes. All right. So much in 90 minutes. And I've shared this before, but it's kind of like the example of, sorry, ladies, I keep talking to you. I know there's guys on the phone, but it's the same thing. If your neighbor's coming over to borrow something and you only have 2 minutes to clean your house before they walk into your house, like we can have the entire house spick and span in 2 minutes because we're like crazy people when it comes to like doing things fast, right? Right? Like I'm just speaking from experience here. So it's the same concept. If you have 90 minutes blocked out of your day, you can get more done at 90 minutes than most people achieve in 2 or 3 days. I guarantee, right? But you have to be focused and you have to sit down with the intention of working with no distractions. All right. So let's look at our calendars. The way I do that, and we're going to keep it really brief because we don't have a lot of time. The way I do that, guys, is I look at my open calendar, and Isagenix has given us these amazing 90-day game plans, but I have a planner that I use. I'm actually giving one away tonight to one of you. But this planner that I use, it's broken down in a week session, right? So I'll show you just briefly what maybe that looks like. Monday through Sunday, right? Or Sunday through Saturday, however you look at that. And when I look at this calendar, the first thing I do is write in the things that are non-negotiables, that can't be moved, right? Church, kids sports, my gym time, right? The things that can't be messed with, right? Pickup times from school, drop off, that kind of stuff, right? They can't be messed with. And then I add in the things that week have priority. Maybe it's a doctor's appointment or a hair appointment or whatever it is for you, okay? Now you're gonna start putting in those things, all right? Once that is done, you have a calendar that all the important things, the main pillars or the boulders are all put in, and now you can go, okay, well, on Monday, I have 3 hours here with nothing. On Tuesday, I have 2 hours here with nothing. On Wednesday, do you see what I'm saying, guys? Now you can go throughout your week and you have open blocks of time to get to work, all right? And you can say, this is my time. This is my time for Monday. This is my time for Tuesday. This is my time for Wednesday, all right? That is how we work. And if you guys will do this and then commit to it, you're gonna see amazing things happen. Now, here's my caveat with that. If you have your schedule blocked out, you know when your work hours are, whatever's happening, if something comes up, this is really important. Let's say, you know, today you were planning on working from 11 to 1:30. That was your time block for today, and then you were gonna work from, you know, 7:30 to 9 before you went to bed. All right, those are your time blocks. Let's say something important came up, and it was important, right? And you had to put it in one of those time blocks. Find a new space for your work. Do not put your work hours away. If it's important to you, you're gonna have to put it somewhere else on your calendar. You can't just throw it out the window, all right? This is a mistake that so many people make, all right? Because you're a business owner of your own business and nobody can fire you, you take that for granted and you put your windows out the door. You literally are sacrificing your dreams, your goals, and you're throwing them out the window because something else came up, all right? So my challenge for you is to commit to those work hours, whatever it is. Be really honest with yourself. What are you willing to commit to reach your X, Y, or Z goal? All right? If you have your goal and you know what it is and you know you want to achieve it, which for a lot of you is the $24,000 over the next 6 months by getting this crystal reset, right? So if you want that goal really bad, you're going to have to commit to your hours, and those hours are going to have to be so precious to you that nothing will distract you from achieving it, right? Okay, all right. So that's our time blocking. If you guys want, if you have any questions on time blocking, please just reach out. You know, we all have different ways of managing our time, and we have different work hours. Some of us are part-time, some of us are full-time, but we're all making it work. And we're all making it work our own way, all right? I think a lot of us, though, are pretty dang similar. Okay, so next step, and then we're gonna go into, Tara is gonna be sharing some great stuff with Leader in Action. I just have to say for just a second, guys, I'm gonna stop for just a minute. We are so blessed to have such incredible women joining us. I mean, I'm looking at Liz and Lisa and Lori. I see Brian. You're on here, Ashley, Heather. There's so many incredible people on this call already, all right? We are so blessed, this group. And guys, this is not even a fraction of the group that we have, Like, you're going to see new faces and new leaders every single week. And we happen to have leaders that have been to top achievers several times, who have achieved huge success in our company. We have people like Tara that just won the Leadership in Action, the Grand Caymans. Like, we have some incredible people on this call that are either established leaders, been around for a while, or they're brand new, up and coming. And we're so just blessed to have everybody. So thank you guys again for being on this call. So before Tara goes, I just want to talk about stories for just a second, okay? And I know that some of you have heard this before, and so I hope that you enjoy hearing it again. All right. So one of the things that Kathy Coover taught me early on when I was building is, she said, you know, the most important thing that you can do early on is create a story. And I was kind of excited about that because I love to write. I love stories. I love reading stories, right? So I like stories, and I love other people's stories. Like, it's my favorite part of this business, is connecting with other human beings and learning their stories and having a heart-to-heart moment. So when she said that, I got really excited. All right. So what does that look like? What do we mean by having a story? All right. Well, you know, I was meeting with someone today about the business opportunity, and she said, Trisha, it's hard to know how excited or committed I could be for the business because I don't really have a story yet I don't have an experience with the products yet. And so we had this great, opportunity to talk about the products and everything. But I loved that she said that because, our company is full of incredible people with a lot of integrity. And most of them, I would say, the majority of them all came in for the products, for one of our health solutions. And because they had such a great experience, they were open to learning about the business. Now, I know we have a lot of people coming in for the business also, but I think our company is unique in that most of our top income earners did come in for the products or the systems. And that's really unique in this industry, and it's special. So the first thing you need to do is create a product story. There's different pillars of belief in this industry. David Wood talked about this a lot, Napoleon Hill, Eric Worre. They talk about beliefs in this industry, and we're not going to talk about all of them tonight. But for example, different pillars would be the product, like what's your belief of the products, your belief in our company, so Isagenix in particular. Then there's, of course, the pillar of the industry, network marketing, and what's your belief in the industry network marketing. And then there's the compensation plan. What's your belief in the compensation plan that Isagenix has provided? And then finally, what is your self-belief? And of course, I believe that's the most important. For me, that's the most important, is your personal self-belief, and where are you out of a 1 to 10, where are you on that belief scale in each of those areas? Well, over the next few weeks, we're going to be addressing different pillars. And I hope that over the next few weeks, we have an opportunity to help you grow your beliefs in every pillar so that you're a 10 out of 10, no matter what we're talking about. All right. So in particular with the products, your belief needs to be a 10 out of 10. And if there is any hesitation or doubts when it comes to our products and systems, you need to speak up. Don't be ashamed of that. It's totally fine that your belief isn't a 10 yet. But I promise you, once you get to a 10 out of 10, everything else is going to start flowing a lot easier. Okay. And it's simply because of what my friend said today. I can't sell something unless I believe in it 100%. How many of you have said that? I know without a shadow of a doubt that was my belief 6 years ago, prior to Isagenix. Without even knowing about Isagenix or this, if somebody would have asked me, hey, do you want to sell this? I would have told them I'm not interested, or yes, depending on my belief in what it was, right? Does that make sense, guys? I'm just personally, I'm not the kind of person that could sell something if I didn't believe in it, even if it was good money. And I'm sure people are out there that are like, dude, show me the money. I don't care about the product, but that's not me, right? And in Isagenix, number one is really kind of creating that story, okay? So, hold on one second. There we go. Okay, so your Isagenix story, if you go to isagenixbusiness.com, there's a really great template that you can use. But I want you to start with something really, really simple. All right. Where are you and what are you missing? Or where were you and what were you missing? All right. Where's the pain point? All right. Maybe you were a teacher prior to Isagenix and you love teaching. It's what you always wanted to do. But maybe the pain point is it's a huge time sacrifice from your family. You wish you were with your family more. You had more time during the day to do the things that you wanted to do with your friends, your family, with your kids, whatever that is. Maybe there's not a lot of pain points except the fact that you're just not getting paid enough, right? Your time is worth more. All right. I want you to kind of just determine, where you were or where you are now and what is the pain point. All right. That's the first step in this story. Okay. If you're coming from a health, perspective, like I was, my story was, that I was so happy. I had 3 beautiful kids, a great husband. Life should have been really good, but I was exhausted and I was overweight and I wasn't sleeping good. And that led to a lack of motivation and energy to be with my kids and to really live life the way that I deserve and they deserve, right? So that was a major pain point, such a strong pain point that it is the reason why I started Isagenix. Everybody thinks I started because I was 95 pounds overweight. No, not true. Wow, see the emotion? I get emotional every time because I started Isagenix because I needed energy to be a better mom. Like I wanted to live life again. I wanted to laugh and go on adventures and say yes to life. And I was saying no to everything, guys. That's why I started Isagenix. All right. So that's my story. You guys see what just happened? When you talk about a real pain point, you're going to find emotion, even if you're past it. I'm not stuck in that story anymore, but it still brings back emotion because it was so real then. Right? Okay. And then the next part of your story is what happened? What happened? Well, my friend Barb called me, and some of you are going to laugh because you've seen my Isagenix, but my story didn't change just because I put it on a movie, right? My friend Barb called me and she said, Trisha, I can tell you're not doing so great. And that was the start of my change, that my friend noticed me. And from that conversation, I decided to say yes. I decided to try Isagenix. And over, the years that passed, of course, it's been an incredible story. So what happened, right? Pain point where I was, what changed? My friend Barb called me and I decided to give Isagenix a try. Okay. Before, the solution, and because I started over the next 18 months since I started, I lost 95 pounds. I had incredible energy. I was playing with my kids. I was saying yes to everything, right? Like that's the new story. And then I end it simply with something really, really beautiful, which is where are we going? And because I started, I can't wait to help other moms who I know feel exactly like I used to. They're looking for solutions. They want to be better mom. They want to have more energy. All right. They want to say yes to life and not just hide behind their kids and pictures. Right? Like that's what I'm looking to help. Okay. So are you guys with me? Sorry, that was a little bit messy, and that's okay. Because you can make a lot of money in Isagenix being messy. All right, so this is the story. All right, now we're spending time on this, guys, for a really good reason. Okay, because some of you have different stories than me. All right, some of you came in for performance, some of you came in for the money, some of you came in because you needed to gain 10 pounds, some of you came in just simply for the convenience of just yummy, nutritious meals on the go and not having to do all the work, right? So everybody comes into Isagenix for a reason, but everybody has a story, okay? And what's beautiful about this awesome team, this teamwork we have, is that we get to use each other's stories. I know my friend Ashley is on the call, and I know that she used Isagenix to get her body back after having a beautiful little boy, after having 3 kids and having gained some weight over her pregnancy. All right, I also know that she's an athlete, and I know her performance story. And so when I'm talking to someone like I did recently, who just had a baby and is wanting their body back, I was able to go, girl, You wouldn't believe what my friend Ashley was able to do. She had the same, she was in the same exact situation as you, an athlete, wanted to get her body back, you know, wanted to just like jump back in as fast as possible. And she started using our products. And then what I did was I sent her a picture of Ashley's before and after. And this girl was like blown away. And of course, like she wants in, right? Because she sees somebody in her same situation who felt the same way and who had results. All right. Maybe I'm talking to somebody older who's in a different place than me in life, right? Maybe it's a gentleman who has gained weight since retiring. A buddy of mine just started and he's having great results. I was talking to him and I was able to say, hey, one of my friends started this. He was 65 years old. He's lost 40 pounds. He's hitting the gym a couple days a week. He feels amazing. He's running around with his grandkids. I have to show you his before and after. And then I sent my buddy this before and after again. He started. Now, I'm not a 70-year-old man, right? I'm not in that story, neither will I ever be. But I was able to use somebody else's story, and I followed the same template, guys. I followed the same template, and I was able to share somebody else's story using this template of this is where this person was. This was their pain point. They started because somebody introduced them. And after 6 months of being on the products, this is what's changed. And now they're running around playing with their grandkids, feeling like a new man. Are you guys with me here? Stories are so powerful. And what I have learned, you know, I was doing it my whole life, but what I've learned from a leadership perspective is that we really need to become story collectors. And what a great thing to be. We get to be story collectors. And I get to take Liz's story and Lori's story and Lisa's story, and I get to put them all in my pocket. And at the appropriate moment, I'm going to pull it out and say, oh my gosh, you have to listen to my friend Liz's story. It's amazing. Look at what she did and where she was. All right. This is powerful, guys. And I'm going to close up by just sharing this because I think it's so pivotal in your growth. All right. Yes, you have to create a story. You have to fall in love with these products. You have to be a 10 out of 10, and you have to be able to share that story with passion and belief. All right. You have to be able to do that. And I promise if you can do that, everything is going to shift. And as you become a story collector, you're going to realize that you don't have to know it all. You don't have to do it all. All you have to be able to do is say, hey, this story will relate to you. And I know that you can do it too. All right. You can do it too. And that will change your entire business, guys. I'm excited for what the next few months what happened over the next few months as we really start time blocking and working with this list of people. Tara's going to talk about what that looks like in leadership in action formula and why it's so powerful. But as you guys start making these lists of people and then work on building your relationships with them while at the same time intentionally finding out what their pain points are, you're then going to be able to collect the stories needed to help them. All right. So what I would love to see in my own business group, my own threads, or in our tribe time, if you're a part of that, I would love for people to start saying, hey, I met this guy and he's in this situation. I would love a good story that relates to him. Anybody? And as we start sharing stories with each other, our businesses will all grow. I promise you that. I know it's true. All right. And on the side effect of doing that, guys, is that we really start creating this family of Isagenix, this culture of we work together, we know each other, we know each other's stories, we're helping, we're just one giant family. And we're introducing our friends into that family. How great is that? All right. Okay. All right. So Tara, if you can unmute yourself real quick. I would love for you to share just a little bit about your leadership in action and how you won that recently. We're so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So Trisha told me ahead of time, she didn't really want me to cover like the fundamentals of leader in action and what it is. I think we all know that, but just for a visual reference, this is my blank one. I'm not going to share where I'm at right now.
Tara, just sorry, one second. Because the egg thing, I mean, I would love for you to you can go over, just what they are, what the different categories are. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. I mean, so the nutshell basics is the leader in action formula is this awesome sheet that the company gave us. I'll go over what it for tracking our business. All of our success is built upon. Uh-oh. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. So it's what all of our success is built upon. First, it's a way to track your business. And second of all, almost every single incentive that the company puts out is going to arise from following this formula and making sure you don't zero out. And I'll talk about what that means too. So on the leader in action formula, it goes by the month. Some months have 4 weeks, some months have 5 weeks. But you're going to have your benchmark, and that's, you find your benchmark in the back office. You find out what that is. It's your average over, I think, 24 weeks, 22 weeks. But you find your benchmark, you stick it on there, and you pay a heck of a lot of attention to that, because the first column that they're using to track your growth is your personal cycle growth. So how many cycles you're getting above your benchmark in that given week. The next column is enrollments. So that's where building these lists are hugely important, because you aren't going to get enrollments if you don't have a full pipeline. So keep that pipeline full and start checking off those enrollments, the number of personal enrollments that you're getting. The third column is personally enrolled rank advancements. And there's, you get different points for the different levels of leadership that they're advancing to. So for example, you get 1 for consultant, or you get 4 if they hit executive. And these are all going to be multipliers. So you can start to see where they really add up quickly. And the last one is your number of weeks at executive. Now, even though it's at executive, you still want to be keeping track of this leader in action form, whether you are an associate, a consultant, a manager, a director, or an executive, because there is no way you're going to hit your mark if you're not paying attention to this. It's okay if you zero out in every single column. Be paying attention, because that is the only way that you're going to grow. You know, if you don't have a target, you're sure as heck aren't going to hit it. So anyway, you take these 4 columns, you're going to add them up. So let's say, for instance, on this personal cycle growth, let's say we're just doing a first week. Let's say I'm a +1 here. I'm going to keep this math really easy for me. Let's say our number of enrollments, we're going to shoot for 5. That's where it caps off on this chart, at least. We got 5 enrollments. And let's say we got personally enrolled rank advancements. Let's say we got 1, again, to keep math easy. And then my number of weeks of executive is 1. So we've got 1, 5, 1, 1. 1 times 5 is 5. 5 times 1 is 1. So it's 5 here at the end. Your total score is 5. Now, let's say I have been kicking absolute butt on enrollments. I got tons of BBV flowing through my organization. My cycle growth is huge. My number of enrollments is huge. Of course, I stayed at executive. But in that month, if I'm not focused on my team and rank advancing, let's say I got a 0. It does not matter if I enrolled 500 people. I get a 0, because anything times 0 is 0. So another reason why I love this, and I want to talk about how this really helped kick me into action for not only Grand Cayman, but top achievers, is that it helped me develop really good habits. And it helped me see where I was this close to hitting a mark, and it kicked my butt into gear. And you do that enough times, and you learn what that looks like. You learn what kicking your butt into gear looks like. And I love when Trisha talked about time blocking, because that is something I really struggle with. But in these moments where I'm looking at towards the end of this month and I'm like, holy crap, I've done a heck of a lot of work to zero out. You better believe I'm going to get that rank advancement. So you start combing your tree, or if it's enrollments, you start making those calls, you start having those conversations. So I just love it, because it really does help you develop amazing habits that you can continue on. And once you get that ball in motion, it's really hard to get off of it. So that's it. I just encourage everyone, no matter where you're at, start tracking your leader in action formula and never stop. And have an accountability partner too, I think is really good. Like, you know, your upline, like for me to Heather, sharing my leader in action with her at the end of every single week, that's good too, because you don't want to be like, yeah, I got a 0, get on that one. It helps to have an accountability partner. But did I miss anything, Trisha?
Yeah, no, it's perfect. I'm just taking notes here because you're amazing. And what's beautiful, guys, about this is, you know, I know, Tara, that you feel new in this business still, and yet you just won 2 huge things because you were following this formula. And like you said, you committed to it. What really stuck out to me was it helped you develop great habits. All right. And I love that Isagenix continues to reward us for doing the right things. They're not rewarding us for being busy. They're rewarding us for doing the right things. And that's exactly what this formula will do, is help you guys do the right things, that you're maximizing your time, which is so precious, so valuable. All right. So with that being said, guys, we have 15 minutes left until we close out our meeting. And so what that's going to look like is I'm going to probably play maybe some good music. Maybe I'll put it on mute so you don't hear my kids yelling. I'm not really sure yet. We'll see. But it's going to look like 15 minutes of you guys doing the work. Our call to action right now is a couple things, because we're already into our 90-day game plan. I'm not sure where every single person is. So I want you to spend the next 15 minutes doing one of these activities, either working on your list. If you don't have it, I'll be a minute. Go out, please. Journey bit you. Whoops. Okay. I love you. Sorry. We got a biter now. Shoot. Dang it. Okay. All right. So, so you're going to spend the next 15 minutes either working on your list of names if you don't have that already. All right. You're going to work on time blocking if that is not done already. If you haven't done that before, I want you to pull out your calendar and start working on your time blocking. If those things are done and you feel like those are good areas for you, then I want you to spend some time on your story. All right, I'm giving you guys four ideas here. If you have your story written out, you've used a template, you already have your story done, maybe you can work on a few other stories, maybe different parts of your story, because we have energy, we have weight loss, we have performance, we have the money, we have lots of different stories for each of us. And then finally, if all those things are done, I want you to have that leader in action form printed out. So maybe you need to go find it at isagenixbusiness.com under resources, print out the leader in action form, or just Google it, because that's easier for me, and start filling it out. Okay. All right. Those are our action steps, guys. You have 15 minutes to do it. And please unmute yourself if you have any questions, if you need help. That's what we're here for. It's the whole point of this. And also you can use the chat box to ask questions. All right. Ready, set, go. All right, guys, we're gonna close up here. I hope that as we move through the next few weeks, you guys will get more and more comfortable during this work time and can start sharing and asking more questions. Thank you so much for the questions asked, and for Liz, thank you for that verbiage. That was awesome. It is smart to start saving the great verbiage that you guys find. There's so many ways to do that. I use Trello, there's Google Docs. There's so many ways to save verbiage so you can grab it in a pinch. There's also an amazing training on your cell phones where you can create shortcuts. So for me, like, I create a shortcut using verbiage like what Liz shared. And you can actually create a shortcut in your cell phone so that just with a few letters, you can send that same text out to a lot of people really, really quickly to make your time more efficient. So we'll have that training later on if you guys want that. Anyways, great stuff. And I would love just one person to share. What were you able to get done during this time? If one person wants to share.
I will. You might hear my son though. He's burping and all kinds of stuff. So excuse him.
Awesome. You're good,
So
girl.
I did a call earlier where we do like this power hour. So I did like a lot of reach out. So the one thing I didn't get to today during that time was my birthdays. And so tonight I focused on sending birthday voice messages. And, you know, I basically just said, hey, Trisha, Liz here, hey, bud, I'm on the phone. Okay, so no burping. So I said, hey, Trisha, your profile just came up on my timeline and I saw it was your birthday. I love to get birthday messages and I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. I hope that your family spoiled you rotten and have a great night and God bless. And that's it. So I sent a bunch of those out because, you know, I like to do those and I didn't get to it today. So
Liz, just really quickly to close this out, can you share what that has done for you and your business? Like, how are those audio birthday messages helping?
Yeah, so I just got back a reply right now. I sent one to a gal and she says, thank you. What a special message to actually hear your voice. I'd send one back, but not sure how. Haha. Anyway, walking very slowly, because I asked her how she was doing. She had surgery. She says, walking very slowly, still stiff and sore, but yes, I'm up on 2 feet. I had a wonderful day. Thank you again for blessing me today. And then she sent me a message back, which I haven't listened to yet because we got back on here. But what it's doing in the long run, it's like just really starting some conversations now, some interactions. You know, we're not even getting to Isagenix, but it's just starting, it's opening that door, you know.
Absolutely love it. You're awesome, girl. And I love that we were able to close out tonight with that awesome tip, because it's such a good one, especially since right now we're talking about making those lists, you know, start building those relationships. So what a great way to start your day or finish your day is going to your Facebook and sending out birthday wishes. Like, what a beautiful way to connect with people and for them to hear your voice and start that relationship. So awesome, Liz. You're a rock star. You guys have been so awesome. And thank you, Tara, so much for what you shared. I think we're all going to be more committed to developing those habits, which we know lead to success, and getting our butts in gear. I love that so much. So anyways, you guys are awesome. I hope you have a great week. And next week we have Stephanie Blackbird, one of our millionaires in Isagenix, is going to be training. We're really excited to have her on. So make sure you invite your friends and family that are coming into the business or are already here. Invite them to next week's call, because we haven't heard from Stephanie in a long time, and I'm so excited for what she's going to share with us. All right, guys, have a great night.
Thank you, Trisha. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good night, guys.